If perfectionism is like quicksand, then action is the rope that pulls you out. But most of us wait. This is not good enough. I'm not ready yet. This is not ready yet. In this video, I'm going to give you 4 powerful mindset shifts that helped me break free so that you can finally move forward too. Let's be honest. You're not lazy. You're not unmotivated. You just want to get it right. You want it to feel ready. You want it to look good. You want to do it properly. You don't want it half-baked. And that makes sense unless it turns into a trap. Because here's what happens. You keep planning, rewriting, waiting. And the longer you wait, the heavier it feels. What started as a little idea now feels like a performance that you're not prepared for. This isn't about discipline. It's about perfectionism. And perfectionism can make you feel that no matter what you do, it's never enough. So you do nothing. You don't send that message unless you've edited it 20 times. You don't apply for the job because your resume isn't ready. And you don't start eating healthier because you don't have your perfect meal plan in place. You keep postponing your life, waiting for it to be perfect. But perfect never shows up. And now you're stuck in the same place with more pressure than before. Let's flip that. What if you didn't need to wait to feel ready? What if starting messy was the exact thing that made you ready? It's like you standing in front of your closet, looking at a beautiful outfit and saying, I'm going to wear that someday, when I'm thinner, when I have shoes to match it, on a perfect occasion, and that dress just stays there, untouched, and life just passes by in your pajamas. Perfectionism convinces you to save your best efforts for someday, but that someday never shows up unless you make it today. You don't need to be ready. You just need to begin. So if you've been stuck in that loop, good news. Let's change it, shift by shift. Here's the first one. Pick one small thing that you've been putting off. And now ask yourself, what's the easiest way that I can begin, even if it is not perfect? It could be cooking something without the ideal groceries, or going for a 10-minute walk, even if you don't have the perfect gym clothes. Sending an email, even though you don't know what exactly to say. Why this helps is because waiting does not reduce fear, it feeds it. And action quiets the fear. And you learn what actually works by doing, not prepping forever. I used to obsess for everything to be pin drop silent before I would shoot. Sometimes I would be waiting for days. And now I just film when I can. And honestly, nobody has ever pointed out, hey, I heard that background noise that I used to stress about. Perfection makes you delay what you're very well capable of doing right now. One of the biggest lies that perfectionism tells you is that if it doesn't impress, it's not worth sharing. But that is exactly what keeps you stuck. Trying to impress is like wearing a mask. It's exhausting. And nobody connects with it anyway. If you're applying for a job, you want to try to sound like the perfect candidate, using big words, overthinking every line, but a clear, honest cover letter about why the role matters to you, that's everything. That lands. Starting a YouTube channel or podcast, you worry about your voice, your background, your equipment, but it's the message that matters more than anything else. Struggling with a friendship or relationship, wondering what is the best thing to say, but sometimes just typing a hey, I miss you is all that is needed. The reason this works is that perfection builds walls, whereas honesty builds bridges. You don't need to dazzle people. You just need to show up as yourself. That brings me to a subtle trap that perfectionism sets. Rules that we follow even without questioning. Let's tackle that next. We carry all these made-up rules that sound like the truth. I need to be an expert before I can speak. I cannot rest unless I've completed everything. I cannot date until my career is sorted. But here's the thing, most of these rules aren't helping. They're just stalling your life. And here's the line to remember, they are not facts. They are fears dressed up in logic. Ask yourself, where did I even learn that? Who said that life has to follow a fixed formula? Most of our perfection is not about the task. It's about how tightly we hold on to how it is supposed to be done. I used to plan everything down to the last minute. And then kids happened. Now I choose to be flexible and go with the flow. And life is so much easier when you stop trying to control every single detail. Perfectionism convinces you that you need the perfect setup before you can act. I'll start saving once I earn more. I'll go to the gym when I lose some weight. I'll date when I feel 100% confident of myself. I'll apply for the job when I have all the skills. With these perfect conditions, they're a moving target. If you keep waiting for the weather to be right, you'll miss the chance to plant the seeds. Instead of waiting for life to feel ideal, ask, what can I do right now with what I have today? Real progress isn't about having it all. It's about making space with what you have. So here's the honest truth. You'll rarely feel fully ready. So waiting for everything to seem perfect is just another way of staying stuck. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need the perfect version of you to show up. You just need to move, even if it's clumsy, even if it is small. Because perfectionism wants you to save your life for someday. But someday never really shows up unless you do. So start messy, start underdressed, start when you're not ready, mid chaos. Because once you do, you'll realize that you didn't need perfect. You just needed one honest moment of action. If this spoke to you, and if there is something you've been holding off just because you're waiting for it to be perfect, then drop in the comments. I choose progress. Doesn't matter how small your step is. This is your moment. Not to wait for the stars to align, but to take one brave, imperfect step. Because that's how momentum begins. It begins with action. And if you're struggling with focus, I've made this video that'll help you find clarity. Check it out and I'll see you there. Bye-bye.